Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Fairy Dazzle here, and I'm going to read to you for Valentine's Day a very special story by a close friend of mine, Leslie L. Bell. The title is Happy Bunny and the Marshmallow Dragon. It's a beautiful story of friendship. Let's get started. Happy Bunny and the Marshmallow Dragon by Leslie L. Bell. Leslie dedicated this story to her parents, her mother and her father. Her father inspired her with wonderful bedtime stories, and her mom taught her the art of revision. They both made Leslie the writer she is today. Once there was a happy bunny who lived all alone in a cave. It was a very cozy cave with a nicely decorated living room. Happy Bunny enjoyed a comfy sofa and chairs, a chocolate brown rug, and a fireplace under a framed oil painting of carrots. But despite its hominess, it felt empty. Happy Bunny wasn't happy. He was lonely. So Happy Bunny decided to go for a walk to see if he could make a friend. He set out down a path from his cave and hopped across the farmer's fields, pausing to nibble some cabbage. On the way, Happy Bunny met another rabbit named Peter, who asked him if he had seen any buttons lying near a fence, and then rushed away shouting warnings about the farmer and his cat. Happy Bunny hadn't seen any buttons, but he did take note to beware of local threats as he continued on his way. Soon after leaving the field, Happy Bunny came to a wooded area. He paused briefly, wondering if he should enter, as he heard about foxes, wolves, and coyotes, not to mention farmers' cats, but he was looking for friends, so on he hopped. The birch, oak, and maple trees were spread out enough to allow some sunlight to dabble the carpet of fallen leaves and twigs over which Happy Bunny traveled. Here and there sprang up clumps of pine and cedars. After a time, Happy Bunny came to an area where a great tree had fallen to clear a glade, the floor of which was covered with ferns and bracken. Happy Bunny hopped up on the log that had been a tree and surveyed the waving green sea of plants before him. Now what? The forest was strangely quiet, and he didn't feel much hope of finding any buddies here, despite the peaceful friendliness of the surrounding growth. Just as he was deciding to begin the journey back to his cave, Happy Bunny heard a noise. Urgle, urgle! Happy Bunny hopped backwards off the log, startled. He poked first his ears, then his eyes, then his nose over the log. His ears twitched, listening for the sound again. His nose wriggled, sniffing for smells which could offer some clue as to whether the noisemaker might be a friend or enemy. His eyes, strained, was searching over the log and into the green beyond. Urgle, urgle! Happy Bunny hopped back up on the log. Who is that? He called, looking down. Just then he caught a glimpse of deep blue and purple sparkles just below the layer of waving green leaves. Who is that? He asked again, and he hopped down amongst the ferns below him. Suddenly the blue and purple sparkly thing bounced straight up in his face, mumbled urgle, urgle, and then shot away into the green foliage some distance into the glade. Happy Bunny rebounded back over the log, shaking in surprise and fright. What had that been? It had looked like a tiny baby dragon. Recovering his courage, Happy Bunny climbed back onto the log. Come back, he called into the green. I'm looking for a friend. I won't hurt you. Urgle, urgle, came the reply. Do you want to play tag? Called Happy Bunny. Urgle, urgle, came the call again. So Happy Bunny hopped once more amongst the ferns in the direction from which the sound had come. Just as he arrived close, the dragon throated urgle, urgle, and ran under the bracken to another part of the clearing. Happy Bunny laughed and chased again. They played like this for some time. Happy Bunny following the Urgle to nearly tag the dragon, with the tiny creature dashing away at the last minute. Finally, they found themselves back near the fallen log. Happy Bunny hopped up to take a seat, laughing and panting. "Oh, I'm just too tired to chase anymore," cried Happy Bunny. "Won't you just come up here so we can meet and be friends? What's your name?" Suddenly, the urgle noise was right below him, and then the dragon bounced his straight up bounce to hover for a moment right in front of Happy Bunny's face. The dragon opened its mouth to speak, but instead of a name, a stream of steam and fire exploded from the creature's mouth. Fortunately, Happy Bunny ducked and tumbled backwards off the log. Only the tips of his bright ears were singed a bit. The dragon landed on the fallen tree, looking mournful. "Urgle, Urgle." Happy Bunny scrambled back onto the log. "Does that happen every time you try to speak?" asked the rabbit. "Urgle, Urgle," nodded the dragon. "That's too bad," said Happy Bunny. "It's hard if friends can't communicate." The dragon nodded his agreement and leaned against Happy Bunny sadly. The pair sat together like that for some time when at last Happy Bunny had an idea. "Let's go back to my home," he suggested. Happy Bunny and the dragon made their way back through the wood, across the farmer's field, and back up the path to Happy Bunny's cave. He settled the dragon comfortably on the overstuffed armchair facing the fireplace. Next, Happy Bunny laid wood and paper and kindling in the opening beneath the chimney, as the purple and blue dragon watched curiously. But Happy Bunny didn't light the fire. Instead, he hopped off to his well-stocked bunny kitchen. He returned with a bag of marshmallows and a wire marshmallow toasting stick. He slid 2 marshmallows onto the end of the rod and then held it in front of the fireplace. "What's your name?" he asked the dragon with a grin. The dragon got the idea immediately and drew in a great breath. Then he exhaled. "Harold!" Harold ignited a crackling fire and toasted the marshmallows in one single breath. Both Dragon and Bunny enjoyed an afternoon of marshmallows and conversation. Harold toasted treats with every sentence he uttered. At last his fire burned low, and with the marshmallow coating in his throat, he found he could communicate without fear of burnt Bunny. "Your name may be Harold," said Happy Bunny contentedly, "but I'm going to call you my good friend, the Marshmallow Dragon." You can catch more of Leslie's stories on Amazon. Now, friends, was that not a spectacular story? This story left a very warm glow in my heart. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Off I go to celebrate with my friends and family. Bless you all. And remember, read